सुरू करूयात का जाधव मॅडम? आलेत मॅडम, आलेत. सुरू करूयात का जाधव मॅडम? आलेत मॅडम, आलेत. सुरू करूयात का जाधव मॅडम? आलेत मॅडम, आलेत. Constitution was implemented, executed, and so we celebrate it as a Republic Day. Constitution of India is considered to be the world's lengthiest constitution. It took about 2 years, 11 months, and 18 days to make the whole constitution. Approximately, it consists of 1,45,000 words. Now, making of such a lengthiest constitution, makers of the constitution took sources of the Indian constitution. Different countries, different sources we have taken. Very easy to remember. Many students don't remember the sources. So, the first source, Government of India Act 1935, 10 different countries contributed to making of the constitution. Whatever was written for Indian soil and people was adopted, and an outstanding constitution was made.
Madam, sorry to interrupt, but just I
Yes.
want to request the students kindly see that your mic is muted. Mr. Avinash Kamble,
Yes.
will you please
Yes. Yes.
mute the mic?
Government of India Act 1935. Am I clear,
Please,
audible, madam?
सर्वांनी आपला
Countries.
you are clearly audible, ma'am. It's going well.
Slides are
No problem.
visible. Yes.
Thank you, Mr.
Whatever
Kamble.
was
Thank you.
for Indian soil and people was adopted, and an outstanding. We're moving on to the first source. With
Madam,
the
sorry
help
to
of different
interrupt,
mnemonics,
but
we would
just
like to
I want to
learn
request
different
the
sources.
students kindly
The first, Government
see
of
that
India
your
Act
mic is
1935, which is to
muted.
be the
Mr.
very
Avinash
first and
Kamble,
foremost source.
please
Yes. Yeah.
mute
Now, the
the mic.
mnemonics which we use very interesting
Am
over
I
here.
clear, audible, madam?
Five old judges prefer
you are
early
clearly audible,
bedtime.
ma'am. It's going well.
Slides are
No problem.
visible. These things
Thank
are
you,
very
Mr. Kamble.
humorous
Thank
and
you.
very interesting to remember the sources. And the first one, moving on to the old judges prefer early bedtime.
Madam,
With the help
sorry to
of different
interrupt,
mnemonics over
but
here,
I want
indicate
to
learn
request
different
the
sources. Each
students
source,
kindly
the first
see
Government of
that
India
your
Act
mic is
1935 is to
muted.
be the
Mr.
very
Avinash
constitution,
Kamble,
foremost source.
please
From
mute the
five,
mic.
the F letter indicates federal structure.
Five
Old judges from Government of India
you
have
are
taken
clearly
federal
audible, ma'am.
structure.
It's going well.
O
No problem.
indicates
Thank
office
you,
of
Mr.
governor
Kamble. Thank
and
you.
very interesting to remember judiciary sources. P
And
indicates public service commission, center state.
Madam, sorry
And
to
E indicates
interrupt.
emergency
But
provisions
I want to
and
request the
administrative
students
details.
kindly
The bedtime is just
see
an
that your
idea
mic
what
is
has been part to
muted.
make the
Mr. Avinash
constitution.
Kamble,
Okay,
please
is it clear? From
mute the
five,
mic.
I will use very so Government of India Act. If you remember this particular phrase, maybe you will try O collects whatever
And
topics, whatever chapters we have been taken from Government of India Act. P is the first and foremost source to make a state constitution. And E indicates emergency provisions and administrative
now
details. Second source, bedtime is just an idea from Ireland part to make the from the Irish constitution. Is it clear? There's next very interesting phrase. So Alice DP is number one. So remember very much familiar with the DPs and all nowadays, isn't it? So Alice DP is number one. Alice word indicates election of president, directive principles, and number one indicates nomination of members to Rajya Sabha. So these are the topics which we have taken, which were borrowed from Irish Constitution. The next, now Britain has influenced our minds. They've ruled for so many years. The British Constitution has also contributed a lot for making our Constitution. The phrase which I've used over here is parley biscuit. You find it humorous to hear, but it's very easy to remember also. So parley over here, if you break the words, the letters which indicate, PA indicates parliamentary form of government, R indicates rule of law, LE indicates legislative procedure, BI indicates bicameralism, SI indicates single citizenship, and UIT actually doesn't word, but it sounds it's a red jurisdiction, which indicates UIT. So this is also very simple to remember. So you are done with three sources. You know what are the three sources. Okay, so very easy to remember. The next source which we by which we were influenced was United States of America, Constitution of United States of America. Now another phrase which we've used over here is like president needs funds for removal of present vice president and judges in USA. Now, this whole phrase will contribute whatever topics, whatever we've taken as a source in making of Indian Constitution. The first letter, president, indicates obviously the president of India, who is the supreme commander. Funds over here will not indicate funds, but over here indicates fundamental rights. Needs have been just placed as a word to make a logical sense, a sensible sense for the phrase. So don't go into literal this thing. Directly come to the funds word. Funds indicates fundamental rights. Removal over here, impeachment of president, removal of president, impeachment of Supreme Court judges, High Court judges. So removal indicates, obviously, the synonym of impeachment is removal. So we've used impeachment over here, and we've taken the source also. We've taken this particular topic from American Constitution also. Present indicates preamble. Vice president, obviously similar, post of vice president. And judges indicates independence of judiciary. So am I clear with this? Have you all understood? So the phrase goes, president needs funds for removal of present vice president and judges in USA. So this was the another source which we learned. The next, Canada Constitution. Canada Constitution indicates a phrase, can I know Fed's address? Now, can indicates Canada. Feds indicates federation with strong center. I know is just has been put to just, again I'm saying, again I'm repeating just to make a phrase sensible. Okay. Add over here, it has been broken. Address has been broken into two parts. The first part, ADD, that indicates advisory jurisdiction of Supreme Court. Res indicates residuary power of the center. So this was the Canada Constitution's contribution to our Indian Constitution. The next comes Australia. Constitution of Australia. Cool cats find joy. Isn't it very interesting? Cool cats find joy. Now, what is all this? When you hear this particular sentence, you should be so much excited, that enthusiasm. Yes, what is, how it is contributing to our constitution. So cool cats find joy. Cool indicates concurrent list. Cats indicate commerce and intercourse. Find, freedom of trade. And joy, the joint sitting of both the houses. Obviously, that also will be a joyous moment for both the houses sitting together, isn't it? So joy indicates joint sitting of both the houses. Next comes Russia in our list. Fundamental ideals. There's no phrase, but true words which are there. Fundamental ideals. Fundamental indicates fundamental duties. Obviously, fundamental duties for every citizen is very important, basic fundamental duties. When Constitution was made, we didn't have fundamental rights chapter. Later on, by 42nd Amendment, 1976, 10 duties were added as fundamental duties. The 11th fundamental duties also was added by 86th Amendment, 2002, which indicates duty of every parent or guardian to educate their ward. Ideals word indicate ideals of justice, economic, social, and political, which are present in the preamble. So ideals of justice, economic, social, and political. And that's where we complete these two words, fundamental ideals, from where we have borrowed, Russia, from where we have borrowed. Then comes South Africa. South Africa, amending election. If you break this two, amending means procedure of amendment in the Constitution, which is there under Article 368. So that indicates word amending. Election, obviously, election of members to Rajya Sabha. That bracket which I've indicated, RS means Rajya Sabha. So amending election. This is also not that much difficult to remember. You can easily remember. Okay. Next comes France. Repeat left. Now repeat means republic. Okay. And left indicates ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity. So in this sense, this particular repeat left is being mentioned. Now, two countries, Japan and Germany, the last two countries which we are going to speak on this particular sources. So first, Japan, procedure established by law. Procedure established by law is different with due process. Don't forget this. Okay. So procedure established by law, these words we have been adopted from the Constitution of Japan. And Germany has contributed by giving a suspension of fundamental rights during emergency. So this two countries, small things but very huge meaning, have been shared with us or contributed while making the constitution. Now we are coming to parts of the constitution. It's very important, as it is, even if you ask me, after teaching, after learning for so many years of constitution, all of a sudden I don't remember what are the 22 parts, what are the 25 parts of the constitution. How will a student remember? To make it much easier, how you can remember? So initially there were 22 parts when the constitution was made. Currently we've got 25 parts of Indian constitution. I've made it in a tabular form so that you can find it more convenient and easy. Okay. So on one side, on one column, there are parts mentioned, in between the contents which are mentioned, and then the mnemonics which we can use for that. Okay. So the whole 25 parts, the whole phrase which speaks, first I will tell the phrase so that you'll find it more interesting to see, yes, what are the parts, isn't it? So you can fly directly from US to UP to meet child of Sham and Ram. The next, it has been a little bit broken. Later on, you'll come to, you'll realize that how it has been broken. But the whole, this statement, these phrases contribute for 25 parts of Indian constitution. The next we come to, fruits taste sweet to eat. Next, third, so only eat Maggie as tasty snack. Nowadays, Maggie is very popular, no? It's very tasty, no? So we have taken this particular Maggie word over here, so you can remember very well. Okay. Now we'll come to the table. Part 1. Part 1 includes union and its territories, which indicates you, that first letter U. Nowadays, we also use this particular, instead of Y or U, in a short form, we use U. So that U, okay, to make it more simpler. Second part speaks about citizenship, which can be indicated by the letter can. Maybe it is not that much similar, but to make a phrase, it is very helpful. So can, citizen can. Okay. Part third, fundamental rights. So fundamental rights also, you fly, that word indicates fundamental rights. Obviously, if you have the wings of fundamental rights, you can go anywhere, isn't it? So fly, that word indicates fundamental rights. Part 4, directive principles. Directly, this particular word indicates directive principles. So that is also very convenient for you to remember. Part 4A, fundamental duties. From fundamental duties also we say how fundamental rights are inherited. Fundamental duties also every citizen should inherit. So that much consciousness and awareness every citizen should have regarding fundamental duties. So it should come from within. So that from indicates fundamental duties. Part 5, part 5, union. U, that US has been broken, and the word letter which has been taken over here is union. Part 6, states. Obviously, union comes following states is there. So S indicates states. Part 7 has been repealed. We'll come to part 8, union territories. That indicates U, that UP, that word is there. That has again been broken, and U indicates union territories. Part 9, panchayats. That indicates P from UP. So up till now, we've completed you can fly directly from US to UP, isn't it? So that much phrase, half phrase we've completed. We'll move on to the next. We'll continue with the next. Part 9A, municipalities. Okay, that municipality may not be synonymously used over here, but we've just to make the meaningful phrase, meet over here has been kept. So municipality meet, like that, isn't it? Meet. So municipality, obviously, you always visit, you go and meet your whatever basic your requirements are there or problems which are there, local issues, isn't it? So that particular meet which is there. So it will indicate both the things. It will make a sensible phrase also, and that particular meaning also will be somewhere similar. So municipalities meet. Part 9B, cooperative societies, child. Okay, child has been taken as a word which indicates regarding or with reference to cooperative societies. Okay. Part 10, scheduled and tribal areas. Now, this word has been indicated, just sham has been taken, scheduled and tribal areas. Again, a meaningful phrase should be there. So scheduled and tribal areas, which has been included in part 10, that indicates the word over here, sham. Part 11, relation between union and states, ram, has been taken over here, relation between union and states. Next, part 12, finance, property, contracts and suits. So over here, totally the whole thing which will come under fruits. Obviously, we have got we like to have fruits, sweet fruits of whatever finance we've done, whatever investment we've done. We should get something returns, property, contracts, all these things. So fruits which have been mentioned over here. Fruits taste sweet to eat. The second phrase. The first word over here, fruits. Then part 13, which refers trade, commerce, and intercourse within the territory of India. Taste. So in totality, that particular word which has been used as taste. Then part 14, services under union and states. Sweet. Okay. So sweet indicates services under union and states. The word over here, sweet, indicates that. Part 14a, tribunals. 2. Okay. 2 indicates tribunals. Part 15, elections. Eat. I don't know whether really it is making a sensible meaning. Eat, elections. Yes. So eat. So 2 phrases we've completed up till now. You can fly directly from US to UP to meet child of Sham and Ram, and fruits taste sweet to eat. So this, so many, you see, in these things, you remember so many parts in sequence, which is very, very important to remember in sequence also. Okay. So next, we'll come to the next part. Part 16, special provisions relating to certain classes. So the word over here, the starting word, so the third phrase which I've come to, so special provisions relating to certain classes. So that indicates so. Part 17, official languages, only will indicate official languages. Okay, only. Then part 18, emergency provisions. Again, we can come to that particular eat. Now over here, fruits also we eat and Maggie also we eat. So both the things are repeated again. So emergency provisions over here indicate the word eat. Part 19, miscellaneous. Maggie supposed to be miscellaneous over here. So you can remember very well, Maggie indicates miscellaneous, isn't it? So that word which has been used over here. Part 20, amendment of the Constitution as. So amendment of the Constitution, we can remember amendment as under part 20. 21 indicates temporary, transitional and special provisions. So tasty, obviously taste has to be special. Maggie is very special, no taste. So that particular word tasty which has been utilized over here for 21, temporary, transitional and special provisions. The last one over here, 22 parts only have been mentioned. So part 22, 22nd, short title, commencement, authoritative text in Hindi and repeals, snack. Okay. So in totality, that word which is used, snack, as Maggie is a tasty snack, that word has been kept snack, and S of short and S for snack. So that indication has been taken. So I think everybody have understood. If you read it twice, thrice, maybe you will be very much familiar to the parts, and little bit if you collect any part you can speak anytime, at least you can say that this part has got this thing. So that is very easy trick to remember parts. Okay. Now we'll come to schedule. There are total 12 schedules in Indian Constitution. Now what are these schedules? There's always a question which is there. What are these schedules? Schedules are additional details, lists, tables, which are not present in the articles. Already the Constitution had become very lengthy, so different chapter of schedule had to be inserted. For example, Article 346 and 347 mentions about official language. But how many languages have got constitutional status? That is 22 language has been mentioned in 8th schedule. So schedule gives you certain extra information. It gives you additional details. It gives you list, tables, whatever. So the importance of schedule is this. So the mnemonics to learn schedule is very interesting also. Tears of old Prime Minister. Okay, old Prime Minister may be ruling their tears. So tears of old Prime Minister. When you remember, when you want anybody to tell about schedules, remember this particular phrase and automatically you will correct, yes, what is the schedule 1, schedule 2, schedule 3, one by one will go according to the first letter. So I'm coming to the table. The first schedule, territories of state. So territories, T has been taken mnemonic as a first letter T of tiers. So T, territories of state. Second schedule, emoluments, allowances of president, governor, Supreme Court judges. So emoluments, allowances indicates E. Tiers, from tiers, this letter E indicates emoluments, the first letter of the word emoluments. The third schedule speaks about affirmation of oaths. So A indicates over here affirmation of oaths. You can remember easily A once it is in your mind. Yes, affirmation, something relating to affirmation of oaths. You can remember. And third schedule. Next is schedule fourth. Schedule fourth, Rajya Sabha seat allocation. So R indicates over here Rajya Sabha seat allocation. Fifth schedule, scheduled areas, administration and control of scheduled areas, scheduled tribes. So S indicates over here scheduled areas. The first letter of the word scheduled has been taken over here as S, scheduled areas and scheduled tribes. Okay. We'll move on to the next schedule, that is the sixth schedule. Other tribal areas, some northeastern states, Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, those have been mentioned over here. Those have been falling under the schedule 6. So other over here, O will indicate other tribal areas, northeastern states. Seventh schedule is federal structure. You know the 3 lists which are there, union list, state list and concurrent list. That has been mentioned under 7th schedule. So federal structure, F indicates federal structure. 8th schedule, just little while ago I spoke about 8th schedule, which speaks about official languages, isn't it? Which has been given constitutional status. So O indicates O over here. So official languages. Official languages. Then we'll come to 9th schedule. 9th schedule also, there is a interesting history of 9th schedule. Land reforms. Actually, land reforms, 9th schedule was inserted by the first amendment in 1951. Originally, we did not have 9th schedule. It was brought through first amendment in 1951, which speaks about land reforms. So the word letter over here, L, indicates regarding land, the first letter L. So 9th schedule speaks about land reforms. The letter is L over here. 10th, defection laws, anti-defection. This also was brought by 52nd Amendment Act 1985. Okay. So D over here, old, the D letter indicates defection laws. 11th schedule, panchayat. P over here, P indicates panchayat. This also was brought by 73rd and 74th Amendment Act 1992. So it's very easy to remember. P over here, panchayat. The last M, municipality, 12th schedule. So 12th schedule speaks about municipality, which indicates letter M. This is very, very easy to remember. This was like in a very tricky manner how you can remember the schedule also. Once you know this particular phrase, once you remember this, it become very easy to remember. On the spot, somebody speaks about, yes, tell me about 9th schedule. Yes, land reforms. Tell me about 8th schedule. Yes, official languages. So it becomes very easy. Okay. Okay, that's all with the schedule. Now a very important part, fundamental rights. It's a very, very important part of our constitution, where every article, every word in the article has got its own weightage, has got its importance. So fundamental rights, very, very important. So over here, part 3, which speaks about fundamental rights, which has got articles 14 to 35. So we have to speak about articles from 14 to 35. And the mnemonics which has been taken for the fundamental rights to remember is law removes doubt and gives 6 freedoms by which we saw MRP clearly. Now, saw over here doesn't indicate SAW, but it indicates SAU because there is a logic behind when we'll see the articles into detail. So again, I'm repeating the mnemonic, the phrase which has been used over here. Law removes doubt and gives 6 freedoms by which we saw MRP clearly. Law removes doubt. Obviously, you know this, law removes doubt. It gives you 6 freedoms by which we saw. You always see MRP, which is should be very clearly. No, MRP should be very clear, isn't it? So we saw MRP clearly. Now we'll come to the actual articles which has been made in a tabular form. One column articles are mentioned, contents are mentioned in the second column, and the third column the mnemonics which we have used regarding the phrase. So if you remember the phrase, it will be very easy for you to understand this particular mnemonics. So we'll come for the first article, that is starting for article 14. Okay, article 14. Now maybe somewhere this particular mnemonics like law over here under article 14 is in between in the end. So it has been taken. Up till now, I was telling you that the letter which has been taken, the first letter. Over here, the words can be taken, letters can be taken, just to make a phrase which you remember very easily. You find it very interesting. So in such a way, it has been presented. So Article 14, everybody knows, equality before law and equal protection of law. So law over here has been taken a very important word, and the phrase which starts or begins with law. So law is a mnemonic for Article 14. Okay. We'll come to Article 15. Now, actually, removes over here, law removes, no, removes indicate nothing over here. It is just added just to make the phrase sensible. Again, I'm repeating, removes, so that a logic has been there. Okay. We'll come to Article 15. Prohibition of discrimination on the ground of religion, race, caste, gender, or place of birth. So doubts, which is there, the word doubt, the D letter has been indicated for discrimination. So Article 15, discrimination, D, which has been taken. So it should click your mind. Yes, doubt, first letter D. Yes, something with discrimination, Article 15. So very easy to remember. Article 16, you come to equality of opportunity in matters of public employment. Opportunity is very important word over here, opportunity. So the O letter from doubt indicates opportunity, equality of opportunity in matters of public employment. Next, we come to Article 17. Abolition of untouchability. So over here, 2 letters which have been jointly made, UB, from the word doubt, that is untouchability. So very easily you can remember, yes, Article 17, untouchability, and this particular UB from the word doubt. So it's very easy for the students to remember. Article 18, abolition of titles. Titles, obviously, T over here, which indicates titles. Both will have 17 and 18. The words abolition are repeated. Only untouchability and titles very easy to remember. So we've come to that particular till what? Till doubt we have completed. Now we'll go on to Article 19. Now you know Article 19, we've been given 6 golden freedoms, we say. Golden freedoms. So how that also can be divided into mnemonics? First, that is 19(1) small a, freedom of speech and expression. So first and foremost, freedom, which is very, very important, speech and expression. So that particular word saw, the first letter S indicates speech over here. So speech and expression. B, freedom to assemble. So A over here, assemble over here. A resembles assemble. Okay. C, 19C, 19(1)C indicates freedom to form association and unions. Trade unions, unions. So U, that's why I told you saw over here may not indicate W, but it is indicating U for unions. So C over here, freedom to form association and unions. So U over here has been taken in that sense. Is it clear? Yes. Now 19(1)D, freedom to move freely in any part of or territory of India. Move, M has been taken. MRP, M has been taken. Move freely. So move over here, M indicates move. Next, E, freedom to reside and settle in any part of India. Reside, R, MRP madla R जो आहे तो घेतलाय reside, R, reside, R indicates R. F is deleted. G will come to 19(1)(g), to practice any profession or occupation, trade or business. So MRP, the last P over here indicates practice profession. Okay, so PP has been taken, practice profession, which falls under 19(1)(g). So in this sense, we've completed 6 golden freedoms and Article 19. So see how easily you can remember Article 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh my God, we've completed so many articles, isn't it? Now we'll come to Article 20. Article 20. Now we're coming to the last word, clearly. Now we'll come to Article 20, how it indicates. Protection in respect of conviction of offenses. Okay, I've not taken the 3 sub articles in this. I've just mentioned Article 20. Protection in respect of conviction of offense. So the C, clearly the word C will indicate conviction over here. Okay. 21, which is very, very important, isn't it? The gem of all the articles. Protection of life and personal liberty. Life and liberty. So L over here indicates L of the word clearly. So life and personal liberty, LL. 21A, this is very, very important. Right to free and primary education. Yes, 21A, education. Originally, it was not there. It was brought by 86th Amendment. And it has been given. So education is so important that it should be placed under such an article which is really going to make your life dignified and respectful. So right to free and primary education. So from the word clearly, E indicates education. So very easy to remember. Then we'll come to the next article, Article 22. Protection against arrest. So R, which is there, AR. Yes, I think so. There is some interruption. Yes, 22, protection against arrest. So AR indicates protection against arrest. Then we'll come to Article 23, that is prohibition of trafficking and forced labor. So labor, forced labor over here, the last word labor. So clearly, from the word clearly, the letter L indicates labor. So something relating to forced labor. Okay, 23 is something relating to trafficking and forced labor. So L is there, which indicates that. Then we'll come to 24, prohibition of employment of children. Now, if you see on your slide, I have just highlighted the word Y over there in between, employment, because I did not find anything else. So over here, clearly Y, which indicates employment Y. So employment of children, obviously, labor, child labor, employment of children. This you can remember very well. So the 24th article, prohibition of employment of children, that was Y. So see, बोलता बोलता असं हसत खेळत किंवा काहीतरी मजेशीर रीती तुम्ही 24 आर्टिकल्स तुमचे कंप्लीट केले, isn't it? Yes. So now we are coming to the next article, 25. This is also a very interesting phrase. Con man evades tax attendance. Now how this should be divided into this particular articles which are there. So con man evades tax attendance. This phrase will include articles from 25 to 30. So 25, now you know what is 25. We don't say freedom of religion, freedom of religion. No, we have to speak in the whole article, the provision which has been mentioned. Freedom of conscience and to practice, profess and propagate religion of the persons of its own choice. So over here, 3 P's, always even students in my class also I tell, remember these 3 P's which are very important. P's over here means practice, profess and propagate. Conscience is very important for the religion. So conscience, the con over here, the first letter con indicates conscience. Once you remember con, you remember conscience, you remember 3 P's and your provision will be completed. Just don't go randomly, oh, it is right to religion. No, you have to mention the whole provision over here, the whole article. Okay, so freedom of conscience and to practice, profess and propagate religion of its or her own choice. So con will indicate that. We'll move to Article 26. Freedom to manage religious affairs. Something with religious affairs, one has to manage, management. So man over here indicates manage. That word has been highlighted over here, manage. and man, which indicates man over here from the phrase con and man. So man, that. 27. Freedom as to payment of taxes for promotion of any particular religion. So tax. Now this particular evades has been just randomly put over here. Obviously, many are reluctant to evade the tax. So whenever there is a tax, there is a reference of tax. Evasion is always this particular word which is there. So evades, I have just put it like that only. So there is actually no meaning over here. There is no article which is going to indicate evades, but just to make a sensible phrase. So payment of taxes. So tax has been taken like payment of taxes. 28. Next, Article 28. Freedom as to attendance at religious worships in certain education institutions. So attendance has been taken as attendance, that attendant, that little bit I've broken the word for the last two letters. So attendant, that attendance has been taken. Article 29, cultural rights of minorities. Both the rights are cultural and educational rights of minorities. Article 29, cultural rights of minorities. So the C, which has been there in second last letter of attendance, C indicates cultural rights. And Article 13, E indicates educational rights of minorities. Students make a mistake. They just overlap these two articles. So it's very, it should be very prompt, no? So you should remember, first is cultural rights of minorities. So attendance badla spelling badla शेवटचं C म्हणजे काय? Cultural rights. And E म्हणजे काय? Educational rights of minorities. Finish. You're done with till Article 30. So see how interestingly we went on, and we learned so many articles. So that was a very interesting part. Now, the last we are coming. So actually 31 was right to property, which was deleted. So moving on directly to 32. Now you very well know, yes, 32 is fundamental right also, and it is a constitution, and you can directly approach to the Supreme Court under Article 32. So this mnemonics from Article 32 to 35, Supreme Court will call Ram Lal. See how interesting it is. Supreme Court will call Ram Lal. Article 32. Article 32, obviously you know this, Supreme Court, because directly you can approach Supreme Court. So that word has been taken as Supreme Court. Every student, everybody knows connected to law that under Article 32, in case of violation of your fundamental rights, agar redressal, you can directly approach to the Supreme Court. So 32. So this is the constitutional remedy for enforcement of fundamental right. So Supreme Court is that word. Now will call also is just that the Supreme Court obviously calls everybody. So that has been just put like a letter, nothing this, just to make again a sensible phrase. So over here, R will come to remedies, constitutional remedies. You always utter this particular word, remedy. So remedies are, so that is Ramlal, which has been broken. The Ramlal's first letter R over here, which speaks about remedies for enforcement of fundamental rights. So in that way, we are coming to the word Ramlal, and first letter we've covered under Article 32. Article 33. Power of Parliament to modify the rights, application to 3 armed forces. So application A and armed forces A. So Ramlal word has been broken, and the letter, second letter A, which indicates Article 33, application to 3 armed forces. A, application and armed forces. Very easy to remember. There is certain things to application and armed forces had been mentioned. So very easy to remember. Then comes Article 34, law relating to martial law. So over here, Ram Lal, MLA, something is related to martial law. Again, very easy to remember. Article 34, martial law. The last letter L, 35, Article 35, legislation to give effect to this part. So last letter L indicates legislation to give effect to this part. So this is how it was made, the Ramlal word, which has been completed. And from this particular Supreme Court, we'll call Ramlal, how we divided it, and how we, this particular mnemonics, with the help of mnemonics, how you can remember till Article 35. Actually, that's all I have prepared for today. And I think so I've done with the presentation. I've prepared till fundamental rights. Actually, I wanted to include much more also, but little bit of time restraint also was there. And I thought you people should not get bored, that it must not just go on lengthy and then the people will find it boring. So I'm stopping over here. I've ended with the slides. I hope the effort which have been taken and the attempt which has been taken, that will be really proved to be fruitful for the students. Okay. Yes, Panchal madam.
Yes, ma'am. Of course, this was a very unique way of remembering different provisions of the Constitution, and you had articulated those short forms and some phrases. That was a good thing.
Yes.
I would like to see if any students want to ask questions, students want to discuss something, or if anybody wants to speak, and can just unmute their mic. If any question is there.
English madam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening. You made me to remember Nakade sir.
Is it so, sir?
Who taught
It's
us
my
Constitution.
pleasure. You've compared me to Nakade,
Yeah.
sir. It's really a highly overwhelming statement.
Yeah.
Actually, I tell you frankly, sir, I taken another topic. But then I realized as my lecture series is falling in the month of November, why not take a topic relating to Constitution and create more and more
Yeah,
awareness?
yeah.
Because many students,
Mm.
they are interested, but then even we don't remember so many things at stretch. So little bit new technique which is there.
No, and in our practice, I mean, in courts, Constitution is very rarely used, particularly in lower courts.
Yes, yes, yes.
In High Court and Supreme Court, they are.
But sir, nowadays students are going on for so many of competitive exams. For every competitive exams, there is a little bit syllabus portion of Constitution which is present. And for them, this is very, very helpful. For any entrance exam you go, any competitive exam you go, Constitution is mentioned because it is actually, we say, mother of all the laws.
Yeah.
So this is a very easy way to remember. And students will create confidence.
And yes,
Okay,
just 2
madam.
days before only, madam told me to that madam, I'm change the topic. So
Yes,
just,
yes.
Yeah.
Actually, it was a very,
Very nice, madam.
quick decision.
Very nice. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your kind
Thank you, sir.
words.
You can stop sharing from the screen from your mobile so that the sharing will be stopped.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, madam.
Any students or yes. So, ma'am, I think
Nobody, I think
it
so.
was very well.
Were they listening or not?
So, yes, of course, they were listening, and might be many of them have noted down also what the phrases were for remembering. So
Yes,
it's not only studies, but remembering plays
yes, it's
important
very.
role
If
when
you
we are
remember
writing the
even the
answers.
phrases, yes. Once you read it twice, thrice, you'll easily by heart it also.
Okay. So on behalf of the all faculty also, on behalf of the principal madam, faculty, and all the students, ma'am, I really say thank you to you. And so that you have helped us in remembering the important provisions of the Constitution. And very briefly, it was nicely presented also by you, along with the PPT slides. So I thank Advocate Bajpai sir also for giving his time and guiding us in this particular activity. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir. I also thank Principal Poonam madam for consistently seeing to it that these activities are being conducted very promptly. Thank you, madam. Thank you, Ingrid madam, for presenting such a good webinar. And thank you all the faculty members for attending the session, and all my dear students who have made it a point. Of course, the next time I would like to have more number of students in this such webinars. But anyway, thanks to everyone for being present in this particular webinar. Thank you very much. Thank you one and all. Thank you.
Yes, I also want to thank Ashish Bajpai sir, who created this particular, what we say, procedure, which is very, very
Platform, yeah.
important for the teachers. The next person I would like to thank our principal madam, Poonam Nathani madam, who's always being leaders, and under her leadership, we are doing all these things. The coordinator of this, Dr. Shubhangi Panchal madam, who has taken so much of effort and being so much prompt. So, and all my listeners, a very big thank you to all for giving us an opportunity, something coming out with innovations and sharing with everybody, with you all. So thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
With
madam.
permission
you.
of principal madam, I'll be ending the session today.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.